It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Birds and the Niners. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one in the NFC, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
The kicker, Jake Moody's got it teed up, and we are underway now from Santa Clara. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sack.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A 7-yard pickup.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Hurts going to keep it running left. Gets around him. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ballgame. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Now he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal. It's some good running there. Gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. 1st and goal. A chance for an early statement here on the road. Penny. a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's finished off by a Rashad Penny touchdown run. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And Debo going to have a Niners first down as he'll get this down to the 41.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Purdy to throw it on first down. Connects with Kittle underneath. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it 2nd and 7. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Purdy off the play fake. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that is incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Purdy. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second down, here's Hurts. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here's Hurts to throw. They set up the screen to Penny. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Here's McLeod on the return. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Oh, on the defensive side, that is so deflating.
Not only is it deflating, they've got to look in each other's eyes on that side of the ball and take each other's measure. You've got them backed up, perfect situation, and what they said to you on the other side is, we don't think you can stop us. Went ahead and got it in that position. That should never happen.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start, but they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Purdy now to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. Throwing is Hurts. Oh, nice move. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and a couple. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And Goddard going to have an Eagles first down as he'll get this down to the 47-yard line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, having back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Hurts. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports Halftime Report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a strong first half from the veteran running back Rashad Penny. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. Both these teams running through their final adjustments before they head out for the second half. Time for us to go back to Levi's Stadium as we'll hand it back over to Brandon Gott.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw in that pickup.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. 74 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Purdy looking to throw on first down here. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. This is Samuel. And Debo going to have a Niners first down as he'll get this down inside the 40.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath.
Holding offense.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hole.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens.
All right, rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get. From
pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. That's Drake Jackson burying him and finishing the play. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. This game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 98 yards now for McCaffrey. It's a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers. The only guys can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 33.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that. And that really chips away at your confidence.
And he is going to have a Niners first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. This time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. McCaffrey following the penalty. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Open man is Juwan Jennings. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll run with a fullback, Juszczyk. And he is going to have the Niners first down. And they get it easily. A gain of 5 on 4th and 1. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. On 1st down, it's Purdy. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
McCaffrey, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A 2nd down throw for Purdy. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. This is caught. Touchdown! Cameron Latu from 8 yards out. And the Niners are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. But we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. From the gun, it's Hurts. Pass complete. Goddard. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. There it is. 4th and inches. They'll look to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st. And they are knocking on the door of field goal range now. From the gun, a give to Penny.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Penny on the counter. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Well, the faithful in full roar here in Santa Clara. This is 3rd down. Again, it's Penny. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the sideline and celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So Purdy and the Niners down 13-10, a little over 20 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Throwing, Purdy. And this is caught, Jennings. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.